Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Lola Ashaye. I'm a board-certified family medicine and lifestyle medicine doctor and owner of InTouch Primary Care in Sugar Land. And what we do is we provide a concierge healthcare experience under a membership model. And you're listening to Connecting the Dots with Dr. Ashaye, which is a great place to be if you're one of those people that want to take charge of your health so you can live fully and enjoy doing what you love. And today I'm joined by Ruchika Behal. Hi, Ruchika.
Hi, Dr. Ashaye. How are you doing? Thank you so
I'm great.
much.
No, I love having Ruchika on here on Connecting the Dots. She's a functional nutritionist and health coach. And today we're going to be discussing a program that Ruchika and I work together on. And this program is starting this month, September. So we're going to be talking about it. But don't worry, for those of you not in the Houston area, we know we have listeners all over the place. So we're going to be leaving tips on how to achieve a healthy weight throughout this discussion. So please stay tuned. You're getting free advice from,
Awesome.
from a nutritionist, a health coach, and a doctor. So stay tuned. Okay. All right. And if you've not already, subscribe, share, or like this episode because it really does help us get the word out. And thank you to all those who have done so already. I really do appreciate it. All right. So, Ruchika, let's get into it. I know we can talk about this for hours, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So, tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself, your background, and what you do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Ashaye. As you mentioned, we can go on and on, but again, we'll kind of keep it short so everyone who is listening can get some actionable tips out of it today. So I'm trained in functional medicine. I'm a national board certified health and wellness coach, which means that I end up wearing two different hats. One is a health and wellness expert, but also as a wellness coach, which means that I can help my clients, your patients, understand how are they being an obstacle in their own way, what is sabotaging their journeys, and what can they do next to move from one stage of change to the other. So often in wellness, as you may agree with me, is that it's not knowing what to do, but it's able to put it into practice and put it into practice consistently and sustainably. And that's kind of what I do, really put the joy back into getting healthier, living optimal. Often, wellness or getting healthier is looked upon as removing things or being restricted or kind of sucking the joy out of life. And my goal, my mission is really to simplify getting healthy, staying healthy, but also putting the joy back into that journey.
Yeah. And yes, thank you for sharing that because, yeah, that's basically what we try to do with our program. It's really about sustainable changes because when people feel like they cannot um, do the things they need to do with, when they're frustrated or when it's overwhelming, they just stop,
Yeah.
right?
And
So,
that's just how humans work, right? We want to be educated, we want to be empowered and have the tools and the flexibility to be to navigate our own lives. Being prescriptive is not my idea of wellness. Participative as you make the process to be, I think, it's just the future of wellness.
exactly. And many of you know my background. I'm a medical doctor. I'm family medicine trained and also board certified in lifestyle medicine. And with the combination of those two, it's a powerful combination. We're very focused on lifestyle changes to improve health, not just medication. So actually, my goal a lot of times is to lower medication use. So that's my background. I've been a doctor for over 17 years now. It's crazy. So I've seen a lot and had a lot of experience. Okay.
Yep.
So doing why this program, right? So I wanted to share a little bit about why before we talk about the program. So this is called the Lifestyle Wellness and Healthy Weight Program. And I started it just about over a year ago when one of the things I do, I have a concierge practice InTouch Primary Care in Sugar Land, Texas. And I was reviewing one of the things I do with my patients, I review their charts. And I do this outside of their visits. So I was going through patient charts, just like I usually would do. And I was thinking about ways that I could help each individual patient. And while I was doing that, it just dawned on me that I was seeing the same things over and over again. Like many of my patients shared the same conditions, they shared the same issues, challenges. And I just was thinking, wow, it would be better if I could help them as a group. I need something that would be specific that will help me to really address these concerns in a more efficient way. And that's how we came up with the, Healthy Weight Program. We've changed the name and done different things over time, but that's really the core of the program because I realized that metabolic health was a huge part of challenge for a lot of people and also achieving a healthy weight. Prior to that, I'd stayed away from weight loss because everyone associated with healthcare like is doing weight loss, and many of them are prescribing medication. But with my lifestyle medicine background, I knew that that sustainable healthy weight is much more than just taking any medication. There are great medications out there. I'm not against them, but I'm just saying that there's so much more to achieving and sustaining a healthy weight. So a lot of people can lower their weight. That's usually not the issue. I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen a lot of people lose weight. That's not the issue. The problem is sustaining that healthy weight. That's always the problem. So I wanted a program that will help people not just achieve a healthy weight, but sustain a healthy weight. And that's when we started, this program. So I don't know if you wanted to add anything, Ruchika.
Absolutely. I agree with you. The weight loss industry is definitely a saturated place. And in my over a decade of practice as a health and wellness coach, I have hesitated myself to being associated with being in a weight loss program. I've always kind of been reluctant, except when we had our first conversation about a year and a half ago. Because,
Yeah.
again, I loved your approach and it resonates with me because when we think of healthy weight, we have to think it as a function of a healthy body. Very similar to fever, right? The
Right.
body will not carry fever out of no reason. If the body has fever, there is an underlying reason. And similarly, if the body is carrying that extra weight, there is a good reason. Just like with fever, trying to bring down the fever with taking a medication without addressing the underlying causes is not only counterproductive but rather dangerous.
Right.
And I feel the same about weight loss drugs. Again, there's a time and place for it, but that's not the first step. And the beauty of the program, the Lifestyle Wellness Healthy Weight program, is that we are understanding and coming to the root of the metabolic disorder, kind of coming to the root of it, why the body is not able to maintain a healthy body composition, and using the tools of lifestyle medicine, food as medicine, the patients are receiving good results. It's sustainable. And the beauty of it, again, through the two cohorts, is that each one has had a different takeaway and has made it their own and sustainable in a different way. That's the beauty of it to me.
Yeah, and I agree. I reached out to Ruchika when we started the program because I really wanted to have someone on my team that understood nutrition. There's so many confusing messages out there. And even as a medical doctor, most of my nutrition training came with my lifestyle medicine certification. I actually didn't learn a lot of that in medical school, unfortunately. So learning, I wanted to make sure that I had someone who also was a coach because that is an important aspect of, just the accountability, the encouragement, knowing where people are in a certain space is really helpful. So, and one of the things, Ruchika, we always talk about when people are lowering their weight. And for people that may not be able to join us on this program, this is a tip we're going to go over with you. The process of lowering weight, if not done in a healthy fashion, can actually make people nutrient deficient. I mean, many people are already nutrient deficient, which means that a lot of us are not getting the nutrients that we actually need that our bodies actually need to work properly. But when people are trying to lower their weight and they're doing it in an unhealthy way, sometimes it actually makes it worse. That nutrient deficiency gets worse. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more on that. Often there are fad diets, or they're not fad diets, they were actually medically created diets, but people use them in a fad way because that knowledge comes from either the internet, TikToks, whatever, wherever it's coming from. It's so not for that individual that it can lead to nutritional insufficiency, which, as you agree and you said, that we are living not in a world where there is calorific issues, but more nutritional insufficiencies, which is not allowing our cells to function the way they're designed to. And I think the number one tip that I would give everybody who's in Houston or watching this from outside is eat a diverse diet. As you're cutting down on calories or you're cutting down on certain food groups, ensure half your plate is filled up with different colored vegetables, produce. Plant produce is loaded with different phytonutrients, micronutrients beyond vitamins and minerals that we can name, and they allow our body to function, our cells to function in the best possible way. And I
Yeah.
think that's one area that, again, this is a practice that everybody watching, whether you're wanting to get rid of the weight or you're wanting better optimal health, long-term health, if you just look at your plate, design it in a way that at least 50% of it has some plants in it.
Yeah, so that's a tip that, that's also I like that tip a lot because it doesn't feel restricted. So a lot of what people complain about when we're going through, they have chronic conditions and, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can't, but in this, we're telling you to add, go ahead and add, and make sure that half your plate is, vegetables and a variety of vegetables. And that does go a long way. So
I'm going to
that's,
add one more thing, Dr. Ashaye
go,
here. I don't know
go
if
ahead.
we'll be out of time. But again, when we look at vegetables, people often think of steamed and boiled veggies. But again, go ahead, roast them, season them, add in pumpkin seeds, add in sprouts. There's so many ways. And we talk a lot about this in our program. We also do like a virtual cooking workshop, meal prepping workshop, which kind of, I think, is not only giving ideas, but also just opens up the doors of how can you eat the same old produce that you've been seeing at the grocery store in a more innovative and a tasteful way.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for adding that, Ruchika. All right. So let's get into how it works because a few people have asked me over time, like, okay, I need more details. What is this? So the program is not a typical weight loss program. I think by now you've kind of gathered that. And that's because we're not just focused on weight. We're actually really focused on your health. I mean, if I could name the program without saying anything about weight, I would. It's just that a lot of the people that we are wanting to help do also desire to lower their weight. But it really is about the health because there are many, many people that are skinny and they're unhealthy. So that we don't want to lower your weight and you are still unhealthy. That's not the goal at all. So weight is an important part of health, but it's really not all of it. And the process of lowering the weight really matters. And so that's why we spend a lot of time on mindset. And that's why our program is a 1-year program. We do require a minimum of a 6-month commitment because it takes time. Mindset changes take a long time. It's not a one and done thing. And it takes repetition, it takes immersion. So what we do is we start out with an initial consultation, and there we go really in depth with questionnaires. We determine the testing that you need. We get a good detailed history and a good understanding of what your goals are. And then Ruchika and I discuss specific things you can start working on, create pretty much a personalized health plan for you. And so that's the first part. And then after that, every month, you meet with me, the doctor, for about an hour, and we review where you are. We review the changes that have been made, the ones that are needed. We troubleshoot the challenges, and we come up with goals for the next time. But in between that, Ruchika leads the group meetings, and I'll let you share more about that.
Absolutely. I've always believed that, and there's evidence to show that group coaching programs, group meetings are the future of healthcare. So, really, congratulations, Dr. Ashaye, for being the pioneer and bringing this into the community. Because, again, so many practitioners that I've spoken to want to do it, but again, time, putting in the energy to create something just becomes a little dissuading. So in a group setting, so as Dr. Ashaye said, every month we meet in a group setting where we kind of go over the different topics, foundational pieces of health. That's what our health lives on, stays on, balances on. So we talk about food, movement, stress management, understanding the concept of sleep. What does optimal sleep look like? Of course, every time we will focus on mindset and create very, very simple, actionable steps for every individual. So again,
Yeah.
it's not a prescriptive program, it's participative. We give options. So each one has a different takeaway at the end of it. So not only in a group setting are we able to give you the education, but it's also a great opportunity to learn from the insights and experiences of other participants. And I find that so wonderful that each time in the couple of minutes that we spend on the group share at the beginning, how the group evolves, how everyone shares their experiences and how gradually, even if they came with being harsher on themselves, they start getting more compassionate about their journeys, and being grateful for what they have achieved and acknowledging that growth and healing is not going to be linear. So I think these are important concepts, the intangibles in a group coaching program, just the peer support, the frequency of the meetings that drives consistency and keeps it sustainable.
Yeah, and the truth of it is I decided on a group program because I've been in a group program for other reasons in the past, and I saw how helpful it was. And
Mhm.
I think if I hadn't done it before, it might have been a little bit like, but learning, just having other people that are in the same boat as you and going through the same journey is so empowering. And so I really am a believer of the group approach because I think you actually gain a lot more from it. So,
And it
um,
also keeps the cost down for everybody, I
yes,
feel. I think, again, you and I both have spoken about healthcare has to be accessible and affordable for all.
that's true.
So I definitely think group coaching with this hybrid model where people have an opportunity to do meet the doctor and speak to the doctor every week as well,
Yeah,
every
every
month as well. Yeah.
So, and then every day we send out information through a chat group. It's encouragement, evidence-based tips, and we have challenges. So it's engaging, and we try to make sure that people are immersed. And in addition, while you're part of our program, I'm a primary care doctor of family medicine, I mentioned. We take care of your primary care needs as well. So that way we want to make sure that nobody's sabotaging our efforts, because sometimes, we're working on a healthy weight and then someone somewhere gives you a steroid. I would not want that. Or they just give you antibiotics just because. So we want to make sure that we know what's going on with the rest of your health so that we can make sure that we are going in the right direction. So really the program is designed around you. We're available in between the visits. We share resources to help. We want to make sure that you're immersed in it so that you're not only lowering your weight and you're also becoming healthy in the process and you're sustaining that healthy weight. So I don't know if you have anything to add or any tips that you would want to add right now, Ruchika.
I definitely, again, everything that you said, I think through the group coaching and through all the evidence-based education, we are able to impart knowledge in a very simple, actionable way. So it just helps you cut out the noise out there because, often people are not taking action, not because they don't know enough. It's just sometimes they know too much and they don't know where to start.
Exactly. And so I'm so happy to say we've had many good results. I mean, some of our patients have lowered their weight by 40 pounds. Some have reported, all of them have reported more energy. Several of them have less pain, back pain, knee pain. There was even one that their primary goal was lowering anxiety. And that wasn't even something we even talked about as a goal of the program, but he's been very successful with the lifestyle approach to lower his anxiety. So it's very, very, it makes me so happy that people have lowered their weight and they're healthier and they feel better and that they feel it's sustainable, you know. And actually, funny, I was preparing for this talk with you, Ruchika, and I just literally saw a patient who was in the program, the first cohort. I saw her today, And she has been done with the program since June, right? And
Right.
she has continued to lower her weight. So since then, she's lowered by 10 more pounds, you know. So that makes me so happy because outside, and not just her, her spouse has also been able to lower, so it just gives me so much joy when it's not only affecting them, it's affecting their loved ones. It's something they can transfer over, to their family and their loved ones.
Absolutely. I think the positive ripple is experienced by other family members too. And for me, the most gratifying part is when the kids start eating better because, again, you're really setting the next generation up for success.
Yeah,
Rather than coming to a point when you're in your 30s and 40s struggling with chronic conditions and then trying to reverse this, here just being more aware with the food, movement, sleep, making all of those priority in a way that's part of your home culture now. I think
right.
is just very, very wonderful to me.
Right. So, Ruchika, I'm going to say this because I know there are people listening and they may be thinking, okay, how am I sure this is going to work for me? What would you say to them?
So I know a lot of people come to programs who've tried a lot of different things. Unfortunately, they've been unsuccessful so many times over. And that's where, as a, again, certified health coach, I can tell you one thing that doing a program in a structured way that works for you, that is designed for you, is very important because the more times that we are unsuccessful or we are kind of, left frustrated by doing something, it just kind of creates that programming where we believe that we cannot be successful. So I know everybody here will agree that the best time to take care of our health is yesterday, and the second best time is today. And health is truly the real wealth. Um, so say yes to yourself. This is a structured, evidence-based program. We've had some fantastic results in the year and 2 months of being running these groups. This is the second cohort that's kind of just concluded recently. Third cohort's going to start. So some great success based on that. Plus, also understand that if you have done things in a very unstructured way, where you've gathered information from one coach online, work with somebody for a little time, give yourself a year. Start as a fresh, make it a fresh start, and say the yes, because eventually making time for yourself in a it's important, right? Like you just, if you have kids, you're not going to just kind of pick up curriculum from first grade and then fourth grade and fifth grade. You kind of do it in a structured way. Even if you were homeschooling or sending your kids to school, health and wellness is very similar. Each layer is built upon the previous, so you have to kind of master it, or you have to have experienced uh, every layer to kind of get to the next step.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that because I think that's what happens a lot of times. People pick things from different places and wonder why it's not working for them. It's a personalized approach. It's not, everything doesn't work for everybody. So we need to figure that out. And that's what we professionals are out there for. So another concern I know people have is price. With healthcare, price is something that we have to talk about. And so the way I always talk about it to people, it's an investment, and invest in your health now is a good investment. Um, Really, if you're interested in learning more about the program, we can share the pricing with you. But really, what I say, it's really similar to the daily cost of a meal. The pricing that we have. And so if you think about it that way, you're investing in your health. It's for 1 year. You're learning skills that will last you a lifetime and skills you can pass on to your loved ones. I think it's, an investment in health that is worth it. And then obviously the time is another thing people talk about. It's a process.
Absolutely.
Well, it's like you're learning a new language. If you're going to learn Spanish, for instance, you're probably better off going to Mexico or Spain rather than, taking classes. That's the fastest way, right? And so what we try to do here is immerse you in this health culture, but not in an overwhelming way. We have different resources to guide you and to kind of show you step by step how to get there. But we have video visits for people that can't come in all the time. We're flexible. People can text us, they can email us. So there's a lot of flexibility that goes around that. And our group visits are online, so it's not in person for the group. So that also helps people be flexible and plan around. So just wanted to share that. I
And
don't
I'm
know.
going to add two more things, Dr. Ashaye, if you're okay with time. You
Yeah,
know, again, with time and money both being resources. With the money part, sometimes it's reprioritizing your funds. You know, maybe you have an extra subscription going on. When you start eating healthier, you're not spending that $7 on coffee every time, or you're not doing that takeaway. And those dollars add up too. Maybe you have a lot of different media subscriptions going on, or just sometimes removing the shopping apps from your phone from doing that impulsive buying, because now you're spending more time taking care of your physical body. So you're not looking for that dopamine release from that quick shopping. So there are many ways we can all reprioritize our funds, and the same thing for our time, right? Often people tell me I don't have time to cook, and my most simple, almost sarcastic response to that is check your phone screen time. If it's over 2 hours, you have time to cook and you have time to meaningfully move your body.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, most of us spend way too much time on
Way
the
too
screen.
much time on the
Yeah.
screen.
So, well, we would continue talking if we could, but I hope you found this helpful. And if you are in the Houston or Greater Houston area, you can act now. You can schedule a free 15-minute consult on our website, intouchprimarycare.com, and or you can use the link in the caption. We're starting the next cohort this month, so go ahead and schedule that. Or if you're ready, just call us 713-280-9985. You can join us for the Lifestyle Foundation, Lifestyle Wellness and Healthy Weight Program. So if you or someone you know has tried on their own and you're not getting anywhere, you're finding it challenging, get help, and we're here to help. So I hope that helps. And thank you, Ruchika, for being here. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Ashaye.